All right, intro. Got a challenge problem for you today. What? Okay. Challenge problem. This is where we're going next. You may see this type of question on a test or quiz, so just kind of be aware of that, all right? The sum of three consecutive numbers is 54. What is the smallest of these numbers? Wow, a lot going on. So I've already identified sum as adding, right? Because that's what sum means when we talk about math operations. Three consecutive numbers. So consecutive means one after the other. So 1, 2, 3 is consecutive. 4, 5, 6 is consecutive. But I want to find three consecutive numbers that will all add up to 54. So I know that I'm going to have an equal sign here, and there's going to be a 54 here. Now, I know that for sure, for certain, because there's this word is over here. Is means equals, okay? So I know whatever is going on the side has to equal 54. And we've already identified that I'm going to be adding stuff together. Okay. Now, how do I find the three consecutive numbers? This is why we use algebra to help us, because some of you out there can figure out what the three numbers are, but it may take you a little while. This way that I'm going to show you now is going to be way faster, but it's going to be like way more mind-blowing, okay? I have to identify these numbers as something. I'm going to identify the first number consecutively, because I have to get three. I'm going to label that first one as x. Okay? Now, if you chose 1, 2, and 3 as your numbers, just so you can get the consecutive thing going on, 1 would represent x. So what do I have to do to that x to make it turn from a 1 to 2? Think about that for a second. Well, 2 is one more greater than 1, or I had to add 1 to it. So that means that this second number in consecutive order needs to be x plus 1, because whatever that is, that's going to be one more. So I'm adding, because it says sum, x plus 1. So this is one term, this is another term. Now I've got to do that third term, right, because it said three consecutive. So if this is x plus 1, this has to be, x plus 2, good. So this is going to be x plus 2. Now, I've got my three consecutive algebra numbers, right, or my letters, to represent what's going to happen here. Now I'm just going to do what it asks me to do. I'm going to add like terms. Let's try to add the x's first. 1x, right? 2 x's. 3 x's on the board. There are 3 x's there. So I'm going to put them all together and get 3x for you. Now I'm going to add all the regular numbers, or the integers. 1 plus 2 is 3. So I've got 3x plus 3, and that's going to equal 54. Now, this is not a one-step equation. This is a two-step equation. Two-step. Okay. Now, I got to solve it. We're going to talk about two-step equations a lot, actually. The thing that you have to remember is I'm still trying to get x by itself. I'm trying to isolate the variable. But before we do that, I'm trying to get all the other stuff away first. Okay, that's why we do one-step equations first, because they're a little bit more simple, and they help isolate the variable quicker. Here, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, because the party needs to kind of start going downhill, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm gone here, and I drop down what I know is left. I've got 3x over here, and that is going to equal 54 minus 3, which is 51. Now, this is a one-step equation. We've done this before. I'm trying to get the 3 away from the x. This is multiplication, so I have to do the opposite. Divide by 3 on both sides. Now, that eliminates. I'm going to go over here, so I hope it doesn't mess people up. Hope you can see it. I'm left with x is going to equal, and 51 divided by 3 is going to be 17. Now, I'm not done, because although I have x equals 17, there's a whole bunch of other things going on here. I want to make sure that the three consecutive numbers really do add up to 54. Now, I'm going to use another color. What color should I use? Red? Okay, thanks. If x is 17, I'm just going to plug it right back in here. So that first number was 17, because that's what we identified as x. Now the second term, which we underlined, whoops, should underline that, it's going to be still, we're going to substitute 17 in here, and 1. So 17 plus 1, that's going to be 18. And that third term is going to be 19, because we're going to substitute 17 in here and add 2 to it. Now I want to make sure that 17 plus 18 plus 19 does equal 54. And you can do that in a calculator, do it in your head, that's fine. We're going to find out that that is true. Now, we still really didn't answer the question, okay? What is the smallest of these numbers? Of these three numbers, what's the smallest? Bam, it's 17. We're going to do a lot more of this. Hopefully that flowed nicely for you. This is really kind of a multi-step, but we'll end up getting a two-step equation. That's the next step for us. Get it? Step. I'm out. Step down.